Hi everyone, so Eat Predators is here at Nickelodeon hosting Slime Time Live. Woo! Alright, so do you want to go down the aisle of slime? So first we have here a trigger warning for Nickelodeon, because Nickelodeon's a trigger warning in general, but also we're about to talk about some deep thoughts, so trigger warning before we begin. Okay, who's that? And then, so first question here, how many NDAs from Nickelodeon? Because we've been hearing a lot about NDAs in general in these corporate situations, and we're a little bit concerned because how can we as the public help if we don't know what's actually happening in there? So we believe that silence is violence, so we want to know how many NDAs at Nickelodeon, from employees to the cast, etc. Is Nick a predator? This is just a random question because we're hearing a lot of weird things are happening at Nickelodeon, and so it's all kind of pointing to this question: is Nick itself a predator? Protect children, not predators. My own personal experience at Nickelodeon, as you can see here, it says Nickelodeon didn't protect me. I did not feel protected at Nickelodeon as a child, personally. And so I'm demanding that Nickelodeon starts protecting children and not the predators. How many predators? That's a heavy question, but we would like an answer to that. How many predators have been at Nickelodeon? How many kids have suffered harm from predators within Nickelodeon? First slime of the day! Slime predators! Slime predators! Slime predators! Slime predators! Woo! First slime of the day, we're sliming predators. Second slime of the day, NDAs! Woo! Sliming NDAs, no more NDAs. Here are the hashtags for today's event. Hashtag slime predators, hashtag slime enablers, hashtag slime Nickelodeon. Oh God, this is the scary part for me. Okay, so we got here Dan Schneider, and to me, he is the creator of childhood trauma. He played a huge role in my personal childhood trauma. I did not feel safe around Dan Schneider while I was working at Nickelodeon. Actually, every time he came on set, my body got extremely tense. And later on in season 2, he yelled at me, made me cry in a room actually at Nickelodeon. I'm not sure if it was at Burbank or Nick on Sunset. I think it was Nick on Sunset. But him and a bunch of the executives made me cry in a room alone. And I don't think any child should have to experience anything like that, especially if it's coming from people that are supposed to be looking out for the kids on set. That's deeply concerning to me. So here's an intro to another slime of Dan Schneider. Slime! I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Okay, so we got next, investigate Schneiders Bakery. A lot of the footage on Schneiders Bakery TV shows are concerning to me as a parent. So I would like Nickelodeon, or someone actually external to Nickelodeon, not Nickelodeon, to investigate Schneiders Bakery. There was footage on Zoe 101 alone that when I look back at it now, I'm deeply uncomfortable by it. Even if you say you didn't know, or you were just being like, childlike or whatever, I don't believe that, because an adult should know how that could be seen to others, and it puts kids in a vulnerable position, and it's very, very alarming and concerning. So I would like someone to investigate Schneiders Bakery and see what actually was going on in there and how many NDAs from Schneiders Bakery. Schneiders Bakery lawyer actually called me in 2019 asking me to come into a room with Dan Schneider to come up with some type of agreement. And so I'm guessing that was probably an NDA. I'm not fully sure, but it sounded like it. So Schneiders Bakery tried to silence me. So I would like them to investigate them. All right, slime time, trigger warning. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 predators who worked at Nickelodeon around children. One of them here was a production assistant for Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. He worked at Nickelodeon. He was convicted, trigger warning, of child at Nickelodeon. He was in the animation section, but he actually brought over a child to a studio where he sadly a child there at Nickelodeon, which is red flag Nickelodeon. Brian Peck, dialogue coach for all that. He did the comedy boot camp with Dan Schneider. So this was or is a friend of Dan Schneider. Predator, convicted child on set. Slime. Marty Weiss, child talent manager who would bring kids to Nickelodeon. Predator, convicted of client. Jason Handy, production assistant for The Amanda Show, convicted predator. We have John here from the Ren and Stimpy Show. He was accused of teenagers who looked up to him as a mentor, so slime him as well. Slime time! Woo! How many predators, Nickelodeon? Because this is enough for me personally right now. All right, so we have Sharon Leadline. She was the vice president of talent. I have her here as enabler because she was in the room the day that I got verbally abused by Dan Schneider over there. She said to me, "Why are you crying?" and was basically making fun of me at 12 or 13 years old, telling me that it was not called Nicole 101, it was called Zoe 101, and told me that I should just be sucking it up, basically. She also told me that she's the reason I got the show, that I wouldn't have gotten the show if it wasn't for her. So that was a little bit traumatizing in general to hear an adult saying something like that to you. So I have her here as an enabler because she worked close to Dan Schneider and nobody did anything about the abuse that was happening on the set of Zoe 101. Over here, we have a CEO of Nickelodeon. I have a question here for her. Is she the chief of enablers? Because if she's the CEO, how come she didn't step in at any time to protect any of these children? I think that is deeply concerning, again, because she is an adult running Nickelodeon and there were kids that said they were being abused on these sets. So where was she? Where was she? Slime time! Woo! Sharon Leadline was a casting director. I have her here as enabler because everybody that was around me that was an adult at that time never intervened to protect me, never was concerned about me in general. So we're sliming Sharon Leadline today. Slime time! Here is CEO of Nickelodeon while I was there at Nickelodeon. My question to him is, do you have a noggin? Because where were you when all of that was happening on set? How come you didn't step down to make sure that the kids there were well protected? I want to know, where was he, and do you have a noggin? Slime time! All right, Fred Savage, we meet again. Fred Savage was a director on Zoe 101, and he is now an alleged predator. And so this is something I want to talk about today, is that, as you can see, predators are on these sets, even around children. Maybe he wasn't alleged yet at the time, but there were predators around children at Nickelodeon. So what does that mean? Probably that's why they're having a bunch of people sign NDAs and silencing them. So I want to know why so many predators were allowed on the set of Nickelodeon, just because there's children on set and we need to protect the children. We need to make sure we're not protecting the predator.
What are his allegations?
I think it was on set, right? For Wonder Years. He was using or allegations for the girls on set, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then Ian. Oh, wait, sorry. Slime time, Fred Savage! Slime time. And then Ian, we meet again. Here, he was the talent coordinator on Zoe 101. I have a question. Child endangerment ? Because he was the one who told my mom at 12 years old that he was taking me to makeup and hair. And I stepped out without my mom. She stayed in the trailer, and he was saying he was going to take me to makeup and hair. And then halfway there, he nervously said to me, "Oh, Brittany and Jamie want to talk to you in the trailer." And I remember being like, oh, maybe that's a good thing. Finally, someone's intervening. Maybe this is going to be a good mediation. And so I started stepping towards the trailer. And by the time I opened the door, I remember turning around to see if Ian was there, and he disappeared. And a lot of my trauma happened in that trailer, to be honest with you. And let's just make a hypothetical here, though. Let's say it wasn't Brittany and Jamie in that trailer. What if he was taking me into a room with one of these predators over here that were on Nickelodeon sets? And this is why it's so important to make sure that when you're working with children, like Nickelodeon, you have to make sure that you're protecting children, that there's proper education on set to make sure people like Ian don't bring a child into a place where their parent does not know where they are. My mom did not know where I was that day. She did not know she was lied to. And because of that, a lot of trauma was brought upon me in that experience. So we got to protect children. Ian did not protect me that day. So sliming Ian. Slime time! All right, Matt, I don't know. He's a staff writer on Zoe 101. My question is Seth Lord, ? Because I don't know how to talk about this fully yet, but I was on Family Guy, and it's a bad story that I don't really necessarily want to talk about today, but he told me that one of the staff writers on Zoe 101 became one of the staff writers on Family Guy, and that he showed Seth Zoe 101 and said that she's 18 now. And that's what I heard, and so I'm not sure if this is him, so that's why it's a question. But he can let me know. But either way, if it is him, I feel like sliming him. So slime time! Here's hashtag eat predators, hashtag Nickelodeon 2. And so I just want to go through this like one more time. Like what we're seeing here is a bunch of professional execs at Nickelodeon who did not protect the children on set. That's what I'm trying to show here today, that children on Nickelodeon were not safe, at least the time when I was on it. I'm not sure if they changed anything, but what's deeply concerning to me is that Nickelodeon still has not given a comment to, for example, Jeanette McCurdy. Even to me, I've come forward multiple times. They've never given me an apology. And it's like, why not? Do we not deserve an apology whatsoever? Aren't you guys supposed to be the adults? And we were the children. And if we were traumatized on your sets, we deserve an apology. And so I'm here at Nickelodeon waiting for an apology. And also I want to let everybody know that some of their presumptions about Nickelodeon in general were true. You know, there are predators at Nickelodeon. There are just predatory behavior in general. There are enablers on set. There are people looking the other way. And this is concerning when it comes to kid shows. We're talking about kid shows, and we were not safe. We were not safe. So yeah, so that I guess that's today at Slime Time Live. Come over here. Let's go rally over here. Where's the megaphone? Does someone have it? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Not the last slime of the day. Zoe 101! Woo! Slime Zoe 101! Woo! All right, you guys. Hello, hello, testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. All right, let's begin these chants. You guys know this one by now. How many NDAs? How many NDAs?